to raise money for youth wrestling right here in New York City. It's our 7th big gala event and our 5th time in Times Square. And for your information, the youth wrestling will start at 3:45 tomorrow, and the main card of the senior level and junior level athletes is promptly at 6:30. So at this time, I'd like to bring up someone to welcome you and talk about the mission of Beat the Streets and its work here in New York City for youth wrestling. I'd like to introduce the Executive Director of Beat the Streets, Brendan Buckley.
Thank you, Gary. I'm real honored to be here on behalf of Beat the Streets and to be a part of what is one of the most amazing, exciting, remarkable wrestling events in the whole world, and to do it right here in a place like New York City is really a terrific honor. So I want to thank the New York Athletic Club for hosting the Iranian team and Korea and Canada and our athletes. It's a strong partner, and that's something that we want to continue and strengthen as we move forward. I want to thank Mike Novogratz for his vision and the idea of creating such a terrific platform to market our sport. Kira Berry, who's been involved in Beat the Streets since its inception, and all the staff at Beat the Streets who I've only been here 1 month, but I can tell you the days have been long, and there's been a lot of work and effort put forth to making this a terrific event, and they deserve a lot of credit. Again, to thank Iran for coming and helping grow the sport of wrestling, Canada and Korea, to all those nations to come here during an Olympic year took a commitment on their part, and to make sure that this event continued in an Olympic year means a lot. So to talk a little bit about Beat the Streets and our partnership with this event and USA Wrestling, who deserves a lot of credit for each and every year sending our best athletes here to participate in this event. Beat the Streets is it's easy with all the excitement and everything going on, seeing some of the world's best competitors in a place like New York City. It's easy to kind of lose sight of really why this entire event is occurring, and that's to support the over 3,000 at-risk and youth boys and girls here in New York City. So our organization has been around for 10 years, and it's the support of people who financially have contributed, and as I mentioned, all the partners who are taking part in this amazing event, and our boys and girls, and providing an opportunity in an urban center that is New York City to ensure that wrestling is prevalent and wrestling is important, and that we're providing terrific opportunities for our youth. This event provides up to 75% of our budget, and so every donation, every sponsorship package, everyone's effort from all the nations coming here, this is all to support wrestling. Olympic wrestling, yes, but it's also to support the youth here in New York City. New York City was the first, and now there's cities all across the country that have seen the same opportunities, that having an event and having backers to support youth wrestling in urban centers is something that's new, and New York City is the best place to do that, and we're excited to be continuing to push that initiative here at this terrific event. Appreciate your time, and let's have a great event tomorrow.
Brendan will be around after the formal part of this to talk. We have a number of different people from Beat the Streets. Mike Novogratz just came in, Kira Berry, Kenny Bigley, and others that can talk a little bit more about the program and any questions you might have about the great work being done here in New York City. So we're going to see 3 styles of wrestling tomorrow, all 3 of the Olympic styles, and in 4 different countries. So it's going to be a real great preview of the kind of wrestling we're going to see in the Rio Games and at World Championships and the sport of wrestling worldwide. So we're going to start with our men's freestyle program. I'm going to introduce our national freestyle coach, Bruce Burnett. Bruce will talk a little bit about our freestyle athletes that we have here to compete, and the major challenge it is to face such a strong wrestling country, the athletes from Iran that are coming here to be our competitors. Coach Burnett.
Thanks, Gary. And thanks to the New York AC. Thanks for Beat the Streets, Mike Novakrat and his vision. And we're excited to be here. Here in New York City is one of the best formats to showcase our sport. So I'm so excited again to be back in New York City and the support that we get here. You gotta love the Sirens, right? We're in New York City. But what an opportunity for our athletes. And I want to thank the country of Iran for being here and giving us an opportunity to showcase our sport against the best wrestlers in the world. And you're going to have the opportunity to see our best junior kids and two of our very best senior athletes, our Olympic athletes, give us an opportunity to test ourselves against the country of Iran. But make no mistakes, it's still about the competition, getting on the mat in a great atmosphere, and winning and trying to win. And so that's what we're here to do. We're going to have fun doing it, but we're going to see Iran again in a few weeks at the World Cup in Los Angeles, and everything we do is a step closer to the Olympic Games in Rio. And again, I want to thank Beat the Streets and the New York Athletic Club for such a great event. Thank you.
I'd now like to introduce one of the coaches from Iran, Reza Layeg, who with Mota Tabakolian from the New York Athletic Club will help us. And ask Coach Layeg to speak about his delegation, their preparation, and also, why they're here in New York to compete in this great event. Reza?
سلام و عرض ادب دارم خدمت همه حضار محترم.
Hello to everyone in attendance here.
اینکه در کنار شما هستیم خوشحال هستیم به جهت اینکه برای حفظ کشتی در المپیک و کشتی برای اینکه بتونیم کمک کنیم به یه عده افرادی که تو جامعه نمیتونن توان اینکه بیان در کنار کشتی رو ندارن این مسابقه رو برگزار کنیم که اینا بتونن حضور پیدا کنن. خوشحال هستیم.
We are very happy to be here to support wrestling and saving wrestling in the Olympics, and also here to support the organization that helps young youth stay off the streets, like Beat the Streets.
کشتی ایران و کشتی امریکا از قدیم برای حفظ کشتی در کشتی دنیا همیشه پیش قدم بوده و کشتیگیرای بسیار خوبی داشته. امروز هم تیم ایران هم تیم امریکا در خیابان تایمز که یکی از معروفترین خیابان‌های نیویورک هست روبروی هم قرار میگیرن که به دنیا نشون بدن که با کشتی هم میتونیم جوونا رو جذب کنیم، هم میتونیم به دنیا اعلام کنیم که کشتی هیچ وقت از المپیک نباید جدا باشه.
The US and the Iranian wrestling has always been united in saving wrestling in the Olympics, and we are doing it on the Times Square and to show the world that we're here wrestling to support the youth and also to support wrestling.
کشتی ایران و کشتی امریکا همیشه باید کنار هم باشن. خوشحال هستم و تشکر میکنم از برگزاری این مسابقات دوستانی که زحمت کشیدن.
USA wrestling and Iran wrestling should always be on the same side and here, and I want to thank everyone that put this event together. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Tomorrow we'll also see two great women's freestyle matches between two of the top wrestling powers, the United States and our neighbors to the north, Canada. We're going to introduce one of the U.S. Olympic coaches for women's wrestling who also, I'd like her to talk about the importance of the the competition and our two great athletes on display, world champions tomorrow. But also someone who was born in Iran and understands and appreciates the culture of wrestling there. To speak a little bit about having our guests from Iran here. Efsun Johnson.
Thank you, Gary. It's very exciting to be here. I want to thank the Beat the Streets program and New York Athletic Club for hosting us. I also want to welcome my fellow home country Iranian wrestlers. It's very special for me to see the Iranian wrestlers here in the United States. We're going to witness some of the best wrestling in the world, and the Beat the Streets program is providing that opportunity for us to showcase what we do best as wrestlers and to be able to have that opportunity to give back to the community and to reach out to the young boys and girls out there that will have an opportunity to see this great sport of wrestling and be more involved. Tomorrow, I'm very excited to announce that we will be having two of our senior athletes, two of our Olympians, competing against two very tough rivals, Canadian wrestlers. And as I said before, I think you guys are in for a treat to witness some of the best wrestling in the world right here in New York. So thank you so much again for having us.
Any questions? I forgot to ask that. We will open to questions if you have it. If not, we'll do it at the end.
And I can answer them in English or Farsi.
There you go. Thanks, Esther.
Yeah, thank you.
To talk a little about the Canadian wrestling program and the two great athletes we're going to see tomorrow, I'd like to introduce Justin Abdu, the Canadian coach who's working with our athletes here. Justin.
Thank you, Gary. I want to thank Beat the Streets for having us here. This amazing event. I want to thank the New York Athletic Club also for hosting us. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our two young ladies that we brought for wrestle in Times Square tomorrow. They're both Pan-American champions from 2016, both world-class wrestlers, both on the way up. Sam Stewart had an amazing year last year. She was on a real tear, won our Olympic trials in December, and unfortunately narrowly missed on a special wrestle-off in January and got bumped off our team. So she's really excited to get back on the horse and compete in arguably one of the world's greatest venues in one of the world's greatest cities against a reigning world champion and one of the best wrestlers pound for pound in the world. And we're looking forward to an incredible matchup and, more importantly, a wonderful showcase of women's wrestling. And at 75 kilos, we have Justina Testaccio, who is a three-time university champion at Simon Fraser University, competed for Canada in last year's Worlds, and also just narrowly missed our Olympic team. But she's looking for a really exciting match tomorrow and a rematch from last year's Pan American Games, where she took Adeline Ray right down to the wire and ended up losing closely. So you're going to be in for a real treat, and we're just honored to be a part of it, getting to wrestle two reigning world champions in Times Square. We just want to thank everyone for making that opportunity for us. Thank you very much.
We also have one Greco-Roman match where we have a guest from Korea, a world and Olympic champion, who will wrestle one of America's greatest Greco wrestlers. We'd like to welcome our friends from Korea here. We're not going to have them come up right now, but they'll be available if you'd like to speak with them. So all three Olympic styles. But one of the cool things about this year is that for the first time we're going to have international age group matches, meaning the younger athletes who are working their way to the future Olympic Games. The junior level, which is 17 to 20 years old, the Iranian Federation brought 4 of their top young athletes to wrestle our 4 champions in these weight classes in freestyle wrestling. And it's a great new twist to this wonderful event where we're going to see the future Olympians, guys that might be in Tokyo in 2020, or hopefully in 2024 in Los Angeles, you know. That would be great if we're able to get the Olympics here in the future. But just to say a little bit about the junior matches, I'd like to bring up our assistant national coach, Olympic champion Brandon Slay, as well as one of the wrestlers, Arizona State's own Zahid Valencia. If they could come on, just talk a little bit about their competition.
Good afternoon. Just definitely want to echo the thanks for Beat the Streets New York for hosting this event and NYC for allowing us to be here. I think this is a really special moment for some of our junior level athletes. Like Gary mentioned, this is a great kind of combination of our present successful senior level wrestlers, but then our future wrestlers with our developmental team here. And I think it's been special. We've been able to put this together for 4 of our national champions that the weight classes of 55 kilo, 60 kilo, 74 kilo, and 84 kilo, to have our 4 national champions have the opportunity to wrestle in Times Square alongside all these other senior champions is really, really special for them. And I think it's, as the national development coach, it's special for me because we have guys like Dayton Fix, who was 3rd in the world last year on the cadet world team wrestling at 55. Mitch McKee's made the cadet world team before. Mark Hall at 74 was on our junior world team last year, and then Zahid Valencia was on our junior world team last year at 84 kilos. So I know for Zahid, he has the opportunity to wrestle the reigning junior world champion from last year in the weight class that he was included in. So I know he's really, really excited to get out there and battle tomorrow night. So without further ado, one of our athletes, Zahid Valencia.
I would just like to say that it's a great opportunity to be up here. And I'm talking on behalf of the other juniors that are here. It's a great experience, and it's just for us to get better for the future. We want to be world and Olympic champions, and I think all of this here, all the work put into Beat the Streets, is a great opportunity for us to be able to make those gains to get better and become future Olympians.
Thank you. Good job, Zahid.
Thank you.
So at this point, we normally do our weigh-in, and we're going to do that. But the Iranian Federation has made a request that they'd like to present a gift to both the U.S. coach and also to, excuse me on that, I speak too loud, also to the New York Athletic Club for all they're doing on this event. So before we get started with our weigh-in, let's have this presentation. Coach? Coach Burnett?
Oh, you don't even need a mic. Just talk.
Coach Burnett.
Coach, sitting up front.
Just a small gift from the Federation.
Thank you.
Teacher.
Thank you. I was being
Must have
interviewed.
been.
You're right. Thank you. Thank you.
And for the New York Athletic Club, we'll bring up Motab Golian, who's one of the members here and leaders of the wrestling program. I have one other speaker who I'm honored to have bring come up here. Is Mike Novogratz, who kind We're going to go without that. Mike doesn't need a microphone. He invented this concept. He's the man that's making it happen. We're proud of Mike, and he's the one that can tell you a little bit about what's going on this year. Mike, it's a pleasure.
So I get no mic, so I'll yell. I just really want to come up here and say thank you, first of all, to the Iranians. It's been a dream of mine to have Iran and the U.S. wrestle in Times Square, and it took a lot to pull it off. It wouldn't have happened without Mo, so he just got an award, so he doesn't deserve 2. But a special thanks to him, because he's been a great You know, they often say it takes a village to get these done, to get anything done, and certainly there's special thanks to USA Wrestling for the work they've done, to Kira Berry, my able-bodied assistant in all these endeavors, our female team leader, really the one who runs Beat the Streets on a regular basis. to Flow Wrestling, who's been here literally since the beginning and is broadcasting us and promoting us, and to the coaches and wrestling fans. So it's exciting. You know, there's a lot that goes into the thought of this, and part of this is lessons for our kids. It's lessons that countries that are often seen as adversaries or foes can get together in sport and, you know, try to smash each other, but then shake hands and hug and break bread. And, you know, we had a wonderful dinner with Iran last night. I was telling a story, you know, I went to Tehran in 2008 for the Takti Cup. And it was one of my first experiences in international wrestling, and I was very naive about the country. For a guy who travels all over the world, was embarrassed how little I knew. And I showed up there, and lo and behold, you know, that we were greeted with love and hugs, and people love the Americans in Iran. And so it really changed my perception of the country, and I thought sport can do that. And I think we're hoping to do that here in the U.S. I'm certain the Iranian fans don't need a lesson in wrestling education, because they seem to be born with wrestling in their blood. And we'll probably have as many Iranian fans out there tomorrow as we have U.S. fans. You know, we started Beat the Streets partly because we wanted to bring the great attributes of this sport to inner city kids who hadn't had access to it. And you know, it's been growing. It's like anything in wrestling, it's a grind. It's a painful, you know, grinding process to actually build a great organization, and we're getting there. We feel good about where we are. The concept of this benefit was our kids didn't know anything about wrestling, and so let's bring some of the wrestling stars and wrestling, you know, the highest level of this sport into the city so our kids can see it and learn it, and all of a sudden, you know, Jordan Burroughs can be a hero to our kids. It was also bring New York City's energy to wrestling, and you know, I think wrestling has benefited from the jolt of electricity that New York can put in it. If anyone was here for the NCAAs, you know, it was just a great event, and so there's a lot of you know, overlapping synergies in pulling this off, and you know, we're excited to be part of it. You know, everyone's got to at least go home and say one prayer tonight for good weather. We've been graced every year with good weather, but barring any unforeseen shift in the meteorology, you know, tomorrow night should be just great fun, great competition. Thank you to the Canadians and the Koreans. You know, it's pretty cool to have a returning gold medalist come out here in Greco and, you know, wrestle our, you know, one of our best guys. And so I'm excited, and I just want to say thank you very much.
Okay, let's get down to this weigh-in deal. We really enjoy this every year. We're going to go a little bit out of order, and we're going to start with our freestyle matches. Tomorrow night we'll start with Greco and then women, but we're going to work now and start weighing in and putting the pairings together for the freestyle matches. So we will go to the juniors at 55 kilograms from the United States. He's third in the cadet world, junior world team member, Youth Olympic Games silver medalist, Mr. Dayton Fix. Kenny? We have an official weighmaster here. They're going to give us his fighting weight. And then Dayton, after you weigh in, stand over here. You'll get your photo with your opponent. This is Dayton Fix.
Keep going up. 137.
137 pounds. Dayton? Stand right there. We're going to get your picture with your opponent. From the Iran, the cadet world bronze medalist, Asian cadet silver medalist, Hayrola Galaramani.
133.
133 pounds. Please stand here for photos. Shake hands. Look out to... Thank you. Okay, next it's 60 kilograms. He's won national titles in both freestyle and Greco-Roman on 3 different age levels, and he'll be heading to the University of Minnesota. Mitchell McKee. 147 pounds. Mitchell? And his opponent, he's the Asian Junior Champion, Payman Babiani. 145, please.
Yep, I made that.
Okay, gentlemen.
That's very nice. No problem.
Next up, at 74 kilos, he's a cadet world champion, 9th in the junior worlds, heading to Penn State University, Mr. Mark Hall. 176 pounds. His opponent, Asian cadet bronze medalist, 9th in the cadets world, Ahmad Bazraglage. 174.
You want to dance with him, Max? Nigga, call you, Max.
Our final junior match, it'll be at 84 kilograms. He's 10th in the junior worlds, national champion on 3 age levels, competes for Arizona State University, Zahid Valencia. 191. His opponent, he's the junior world champion, Asian junior bronze medalist, Mujtaba Golay. 200 pounds.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving to the senior level in freestyle. At 86 kilograms, he won the World Olympic qualifier in Mongolia, 2-time NCAA champion from Missouri, and a member of our Olympic team, Mr. Jaden Cox.
$207.
207 pounds. His opponent, a 2-time Asian champion, University World Champion, Maysam Jokar. 200 pounds, gentlemen.
Perfect shot.
And at 74 kilograms in freestyle, 2012 Olympic champion, 3-time world champion, Pan American, World Cup champion, 2-time NCAA champion, Hodge Trophy winner, Mr. Jordan Burroughs. Woo.
$176.
That's how the fighters do it, right?
And his opponent, he is the Asian champion, placed 3rd in the junior worlds, 3rd in the cadet worlds, one of their top young stars, Payman Yaramati.
178.
178, gentlemen. All right, so let's go to Greco-Roman wrestling. This is going to be at 75 kilograms, 2-time world bronze medalist. He's been a Pan American Games champion and now a member of our Olympic team, Mr. Andy Bisick.
Say 183.
183 pounds, Andy. And his opponent, he's the Olympic champion, the world champion, 4-time Asian champion, Kim Hyun-woo. Woo. Yes.
181.
181. Shake hands.
You're good.
Thank you. Women's freestyle, it's 53 kilograms. She's a world champion, 3-time world medalist, World Cup champion, and Olympian. Helen Maroulis. It's her fighting weight.
135.
135, Helen. And her opponent's been 4th in the World Championships, 3rd in the World University Championships, Pan American champion, Samantha Stewart. You can keep that on. Fighting weight.
Say 131.
131. Samantha. And then our last of the women's matches at 75 kilograms. She's a 3-time world champion, 5-time world medalist, Pan American Games, World Cup champion and Olympian, Adeline Gray.
174.
Wait for your opponent. And her opponent, she's a 2-time Pan American champion, world team member, 3-time college national champion, Pan American silver medalist, Justina D'Estasio.
174.
That's what I read. Gotta stand here, shake hands, pose for the Okay, so at this point, for journalists, you're going to need to bring your pass if you get it today, tomorrow. We're going to open it up for one-on-one conversations with any of the athletes and coaches. We appreciate you being here, and we look forward to some great international wrestling in Times Square tomorrow. Thank you, athletes. Thank you, coaches. Thank you, journalists.